Our customers tell us they also appreciate understanding what caused these issues in the first place. So what causes wall failure? I have a little slideshow here to show you a visual of what may be happening. So there's 3 parts of the foundation. There's your foundation wall, your footing here. 2 types of soil. So this is compacted virgin soil. It's never been touched. And this is the soil that the contractors have put up against that foundation wall that you have. It kind of, that active wedge of soil they've added kind of creates an unstable soil area up against your foundation wall, which is part of what leads to a lot of the problems. So some of your causes for failure, one is going to be improperly compacted soil. As you can see here, the weight of the soil is going to be pushing up against your wall. And overly compacted soil applies that lateral pressure. Loose backfill soil allows water to flow towards the footing, and that's where it comes into hydrostatic pressure. Now 1 gallon of water equals 8.34 pounds. So the force exerted on the underground structure by the water that is in the ground surrounding that structure, that's going to be that hydrostatic pressure. So this is what happens when you get water in the backfill. Now another cause of your wall failure is going to be freezing and thawing of the soil. So water expands 9% when it freezes, and this expansion will increase the volume of the soil. So those are your 3 causes of your walls needing to be stabilized and you having wall failure. So going to options, historically, there have been a few options that contractors have used to attempt to fix these issues. Those 3 options you can see here: do nothing, do it yourself, or hire a contractor. Essentially, if you do nothing, this is what we might be looking at. Total wall failure, of course, more dollars spent in the long run. And obviously, if this was your plan, you probably wouldn't have called us out here. This is definitely not going to permanently stabilize your walls. Then of course the do-it-yourself method, which, as most of my customers are not contractors and are not confident in their ability to do things like this, but either way, whether you are or aren't, it does require a big skill level, and there's a big safety factor involved. I mean, the people that do this on a daily basis are highly skilled and prepared for anything. So do it yourself is probably not going to be the best option, and it really obviously might not solve the problem you're dealing with. Another thing that isn't going to solve the unstable soil underneath there is going to be total foundation replacement. Now, that's going to be your most expensive option. It's going to look like this under your house. So this is going to be very intrusive to your home, might even require you and those cute babies you have over there to have to move out and live somewhere else. It'll disrupt your utilities, and of course it just takes a really long time. This is something that's going to be pretty extensive over time, and it's going to take a lot to clean up afterwards. So your options for repair, previously contractors have used these to attempt to solve the problems, and it has not worked out. So the Groundworks solution, our engineering department put together this short video clip that explains this at a very high level. I'm going to play this video for you, and then we can get into more details about what's going on. So this is the settle stop helical wall anchor. That's what a picture of that is right there. And how this works, so this works on both wet or dry walls, and it has a floor framing orientation. So the style has no impact, whatever your floor framing is. It's constructed of high-grade galvanized, corrosion-resistant steel, and essentially there will be a plate that is out at a 10-degree angle, like you see here, that's screwed out into your stable soil out in your yard. And then another plate is going to be on the inside of your wall, and it's going to kind of play as an anchor, that one in the yard will. And it's called the settle stop helical wall anchor. This is gonna finish your basement without limitation, without losing a lot of valuable living space. And this is definitely an option for permanent stabilization. So this is kind of what you're looking at there. This will be your foundation wall. This will be it screwed into that stable soil we have there. And your wall will then be permanently stabilized. So then we have the Settle, Stop, and Telebrace system. This has the opportunity to straighten immediately. Again, this is made with long-lasting, high-grade steel that is galvanized. It is corrosion resistant. And this is a pretty minimally invasive option. Not much disturbance to your homes or your lawn or your landscaping. And this overall will prevent the bowing of your wall, and actually with the potential to restoring it back towards the original position. Then we have the Settle, Stop wall anchor system. Our engineering department put together this short clip as well, and we can watch it. I'm going to play it for you, and then we can get into more details of exactly what's going on. There's an example of your wall anchors there again. More details. They'll measure, they'll drill the holes in the wall. This is a trench that's dug out on the outside, and then that galvanized rod is driven in. This is a Settle, Stop wall anchor system. Your IntelliBrace is there. Another video by our engineering department. We can watch this, and then we can talk a little bit more about what's going on. So as I kind of mentioned before, this is a long-lasting, high-grade steel, and it forms as a brace that's in your basement. So it's going to look like that. It's going to be measured, braced on your wall. There's going to be a top bracket, parallel joist bracket, and all of these will be cut to fit your basement perfectly. There'll be no, one-size-fits-all rods that are going to be going in there. This is what the bottom bracket will look like. It's going to be secured to your floor. This is going to prevent shearing, and you can see the correct amount were installed here, and the wall is permanently stabilized. Again, this IntelliBrace system, as I mentioned before, does have the ability to straighten immediately. We'll dig out the soil, relieve the pressure on the wall, and the straightening procedure will begin. Then another option that Groundworks has as a solution is going to be the Settle, Stop carbon fiber system. So here's another video our engineering department put together. It's a short clip, and it's going to explain this at a very high level. I'll play this for you, and then we can get into more details of exactly what's going on. So this is an example of the carbon fiber system that we have. This is kind of what the carbon fiber strips are going to look like on your wall. Again, we will measure the wall, figure out where the carbon fiber needs to be located. Our engineers will actually decide that spacing. We'll have to scarify the wall, smooth it out, kind of vacuum to prevent dust, make sure it's a perfectly smooth surface for the carbon fiber placement. The carbon fiber will be fit specifically to your wall height. It is 10 times stronger than steel, and it'll run in a single direction. And then will be applied to the wall. Top bracket will be placed, and you can see the epoxy applied to the carbon fiber, to the bottom attachment. Here it is, kind of what it would look like on your wall. The wall is permanently stabilized, and the engineers have decided the spacing in order to permanently stabilize your wall. Here's another video. So those are your options to fix your wall failure that you're having in your home. What do you think?